Hey there. If you're running a business with actual physical products, you know the deal. Your inventory, it can be your greatest asset or, let's be honest, your biggest nightmare. So today, we're going to dig into how you make sure it's always working for you, not against you, by totally mastering your stock levels. You know this feeling, right? It's like you're walking this constant tightrope. Lean too far one way, and boom, you're out of stock, customers are mad. Lean too far the other way, and you've got a warehouse full of cash just sitting there collecting dust. It's a heck of a balancing act. So let's just lay it out there. These are the two nightmares every single business owner is trying to dodge. On one side, you have way too much stock. That's not just stuff on a shelf, that's your money, your cash, tied up in boxes that aren't moving, money you could be using to grow. And on the other side, not enough stock, which means lost sales, unhappy customers, and a reputation that takes a serious hit. Yeah, it's pretty much a lose-lose.
So what's the solution? What's the sweet spot we're all aiming for? It's this, the optimum stock level. Think of it like a bullseye. It's that perfect, magical point where you have exactly what your customers need, right when they need it, without wasting a single penny on extra inventory.
All right, so how do we find this bullseye? Well, first we've got to understand the dashboard. Just like in your car, your business has these essential gauges and warning lights. You need to know what they mean and how to read them. Okay, first gauge on the dash, your minimum level. This is your safety net, plain and simple. It's that little bit of extra stock you always have on hand for those just-in-case moments. You know, like a sudden rush of orders or when your delivery guy gets stuck in traffic. You do not want to go below this level unless you know for sure that more is on the way.
And that brings us perfectly to the next one, the reorder level. This isn't your safety net. This is your trigger. It's the point you set above the minimum that basically screams, hey, time to order more. The second your stock hits this number, it's go time. You're placing that new order.
Now, on the flip side, you've got the maximum level. This is your ceiling. This is the, whoa, slow down there limit. It stops you from getting a little too excited and ordering a mountain of stuff you don't need, which just ends up costing you a fortune in storage and, well, waste. It keeps things sensible. And last, but definitely not least, the danger level. This is the big, flashing red alert, code red. If you ever hit this point, which is even below your safety net, it means something has seriously gone off the rails. It's all hands on deck. You need to take immediate action, like paying for rush shipping, to prevent a total stockout disaster.
Okay, so we've got our levels all defined. Minimum, reorder, maximum, danger. Got it. But look, these are all just numbers in a system. They're totally useless if they don't match what's actually sitting on your shelves. So let's talk about making sure theory matches reality.
And this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? The number you see on your computer screen, does it actually match the number of boxes in the warehouse? Because if there's a mismatch, all that hard work setting those levels, it's pretty much for nothing. And that's where something called stock taking comes into play. It sounds fancy, but it's really simple. You physically go and count everything. That's it. The whole goal is to make sure the digital number and the physical reality are one and the same. Now, there are really two main ways to do this. You've got the old school periodic method, where you shut the whole operation down once a year for the big, painful, all hands on deck physical count. Then there's the perpetual system. This is much more modern. It uses tech to track every single item as it moves, so you can do smaller, rolling counts, called cycle counting, all the time. It keeps things way more accurate day in and day out. But wait, there's a really important difference here. Stock taking tells you what the problem is. Hey, we're missing 10 widgets. Stock verification, on the other hand, is the detective work. It figures out why they're missing. Did they get damaged? Was it a shipping error? Did someone just type in the wrong number? It's about finding the root cause. And this verification process is a real investigation. First, you double-check the count. Is the report even right? Then you become an auditor. You trace the journey of that item from the moment it arrived to the moment it left. Finally, you look at your own system. Is there a flaw in how you store things or how you issue them? This is how you plug the holes in the bucket so it doesn't happen again. Okay, so at this point, you know your critical levels and you have a system to trust that your counts are accurate. Awesome. But that's all about the here and now. The next big piece of the puzzle is looking into the future. How in the world do you predict what people are going to want next week, next month, next year? Well, you basically got two tools for this. The first is qualitative forecasting. This is what you use when you have zero historical data. Think about launching a brand new product. You'd rely on things like market research, expert opinions, that kind of gut feel stuff. The second tool is quantitative forecasting. This is for when you do have data. If you've been selling the same thing for years, you can use math and all that past sales info to make a really educated guess about the future. Okay, let's pull all these threads together. We've talked about setting levels, we've talked about counting what you have, and we've talked about forecasting the future. Now, we need to wrap all of that up into one master plan, a system that makes this whole process smooth, reliable, and something you can count on every day.
And the absolute foundation of this master plan is what's called a standard operating procedure, or SOP. This is your playbook, your Bible. It's the written down, step-by-step instructions for every single thing related to inventory. The idea is that anyone on any given day can follow it and get the exact same correct result.
And a good SOP has to cover the whole shebang. We're talking how you track your items, exactly how you calculate that reorder point, the official A to Z process for placing an order, how to do a stock count, and maybe most importantly, what to do when you find a discrepancy. It takes all the guesswork out of the equation. You know, when you boil it all down, everything we've covered today, all the levels, the counting, the forecasting, it all serves this one core goal. This is really the mission statement of great inventory management. Keep your customers happy and supplied while spending as little money as possible to do it. That's the balance. And the thing to really get is that these aren't just a bunch of separate chores. Your stock levels, your counting, your forecasting, your SOPs, they're all gears in a single machine. When they're all turning together in sync, that's when you get a powerful, efficient system that really pushes your business forward. So I'll leave you with this question to think about for your own business. Take a hard look at your inventory. Is it an asset actively making you money, or has it turned into a liability quietly bleeding your company dry? The good news is the answer is completely in your control.